Cardinals Flight Plan with head coach Bruce Arians is brought to you in part by Dignity Health, Hello Human Kindness, and by Copper Point Mutual, at work for you. Now, a closer look at the pivotal performances from last weekend, beginning with the flood of takeaways by the Big Red D.
All right, Coach, looking a little bit closer at the Rams game last week, your defense forced 3 straight turnovers in this game, 2 of them for touchdowns. But Patrick Peterson, talk about Patrick Peterson in the last couple of weeks he's had.
Oh, he's the guy we always knew he would be, you know, and he's got himself in a great spot right now, mentally, physically, and is playing his best football ever.
What about Antonio Cromartie? How does Antonio Cromartie in the backfield, how was he in the backfield waiting for that ball to come out? Talk about Antonio Cromartie and how Todd Bowles is using him.
Well, you know, we had him matched up on Jared Cook some in this ball game in a man-to-man situation. So anytime he was near the line, we then obviously had some blitz potential of bringing Crow. And Todd did a great job of scheming him up. And Kareem Martin made a great effort play to knock that ball out. Crow scooped and scored and let the referees decide.
Have you ever seen a game change so dramatically in a 4-minute window like it changed against the Rams?
Yeah, but it was the other way against us.
You've been on the other end of that,
John Elway did it to us in Denver one year. We had a 13-point lead with 1:30 left.
Boy, it's an amazing thing. It's a great reminder, isn't it, that momentum is real in the game of football.
That's why you have to play all 60 minutes.
Expand a little bit on the day that Calais Campbell had, because a couple of sacks for Calais, including a huge sack on a 3-man rush, and 4 tackles for loss. Calais is balling, isn't he?
Yeah, he's back to speed, and he learned to play with a brace on, trusting it again, and is very explosive, and he is really playing hard.
What kind of dynamic does Antonio Cromartie and Patrick Peterson bring for a defensive coordinator when you've got these guys playing at the level they're playing at right now? How difficult is that for an offense?
It was very difficult because, you know, you can overload the box on running plays. Your safeties can get involved on crossing routes and other things. But, you know, you don't want to put them out there totally on an island all the time. And Todd's done a great job of keeping that balanced.
Is Jaron Brown forcing you to go with more 4 wide packages?
Well, 5. Because
5 wide.
You know, to get him on the field, yeah, because every time he catches it's a first down or a touchdown. And, you know, we knew after the training camp that he was going to be a really, really solid player for us. It's just getting him on the field.
Bruce, are we going to see more empty set? How effective has the empty set been for you guys this year?
It's been extremely productive, because our pass protection, you know. Some teams decide to blitz it, and as long as we're on P's and Q's, we can handle that. And other teams are playing zones or man-to-man or normal stuff. So we feel like our 3rd, 4th, and 5th wideouts are really good matchups for us if we can get them on the field.
Why was Larry Fitzgerald so effective in this game? Game planning at all?
A little bit of that, and just, you know, good fortune. He was there on a couple of those plays, and Carson did a great job of finding them on those crossing routes, and as did Drew on the one. And so everything, you never target guys, but you think you can get them the ball sometimes.
How different is it for a quarterback like Drew Stanton? He comes in and just knowing that as a human being, he's going to process information a little bit differently than Carson Palmer. Sometimes just a pair of different eyes makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, he is so into it. You know, they're over there on the bench going through every single play with the pictures and the game plans, and Tom and Freddie, and he stays so on top of everything that's going on during the game that it's like he's gotten all the reps. Even if it's been 50 plays into the game, it's like he's already processed all the information.
You were pretty critical of the offensive line after this game against the Rams here. How concerned are you about the rushing attack?
I was very after that game. We've got to be more physical and trust our techniques a little bit better. Talent-wise, we're fine. You know, we don't need to change anything. It's just play better and block better.
Speaking of trust, B.A., how about Drew Stanton? How much do you trust Drew Stanton to be your quarterback going forward?
No, there's no doubt in my mind. You know, when we first came, had we not got the deal for Carson, I was more than ready to go with Drew as our guy here.
Still to come, a look at Sunday's opponent, the Detroit Lions. But next, Carson Palmer was wired for sound against the Rams. Sadly, the final game he'll play until 2015. when we return to Cardinals Flight Plan, presented by Dignity Health.